I've got an interesting problem for you today. Something I don't usually paint, which is a building, a bad composition, which I'm going to try to amend with placement of a tree, and a real tricky value situation. So let's go. So this is supposed to be the center of interest. You'll notice it's not, if you divided this into the 9 squares, center of interest is probably right about here. And it's possible I'll take these cactuses maybe up a little this way to sort of draw you in. But when you look at this, I want your eye to go directly to this and then the window. The window is the secondary point of interest, and everything else is just stuff that supports the center of interest. So this is a difficult painting. I don't feel super comfortable with what I'm doing. But you know, like every painting you do, it's like an experiment. You don't know how it's going to turn out. I mean, you have a vision. And what I don't like about this painting so far is that there's too many clean lines. It isn't very impressionistic. And I was sort of trying to be more impressionistic in my painting. Always a good idea to put your painting away and go to bed and sleep on it. The following day, when you take a look at it, you will have a different perspective. So in this case, I thought this painting was going to be a discussion on how to paint a building, which I'm not very good at. And I thought maybe I would learn something. I felt like the challenge would be the roof, and it definitely was. But what I realized when I came out this morning is that this painting has a value problem and also a color problem, because the roof is actually this terracotta color. And if you look at this painting, or this photograph, if you look at the photograph, you'll see that this is a little bit lighter and this is a little bit darker. And although this looks really dark here, and I was trying to portray that there, it's too dark. So, and it also makes this look brown and this look terracotta. So this is really a challenge. And I didn't realize we were going to talk about value, but maybe that's what this painting is really about. Let's talk about value. So I do recommend, if you're just starting out, to get yourself a value finder. It's called Grayscale and Value Finder. Now, I took a class a few years back, and that's what he was trying to teach us. And he wanted us to do a little grayscale from values 1 through 10. And I didn't do a very good job here, but the bulk of the information was that you should, when you're doing a painting, and of course remember, these rules that I'm telling you are always meant to be broken, but in general, you want your painting to include only 4 to 5 values. And so that would be the first 4 to 5, or the middle 4 to 5, or the lower 4 to 5, or I should say high. So values 10 through 7 are a higher key. And then these are the middle values, or middle key, and then this is the lower key. And that's referring to the color of the value color of what you're using in your painting. So it's confusing. And even people who've painted a while are confused by this. at times. At least I am. So, so in this exercise we did, we painted a low key, middle key, and high key painting. And then you colorized it. I started colorizing this one. I didn't get to the other ones, but that gives you an idea of how dark you want your painting to be or how light. So I fixed some of the problems of this painting. My advice would be practice things you've never painted before you try to put them on a painting, such as cactus. I don't believe I've ever tried cactus before. And experiment with the colors before you use them. The green of the cactus was real unusual and I had a hard time mixing it. And I really, although sometimes I don't really care, I want to mix my own colors and make it look the way I want it to look. I really wanted the cactus to be more real, the green to be more true to what the cactus looked like. So let me show you the final painting. So I think I got the value a little closer. The roof, I think, should still be a little bit lighter in value. I was happy with the color that I changed the walls to. And if you look, you'll see I added more color to it to make it more interesting. And this actually points out the problem with these ampersand panels. I really don't recommend them because they're so slick. They show every piece of the brush on the panel, and if you put a new color on it, it lifts the color. The cactus, as you can see, is kind of strange. And, you know, if you look at the whole thing, I feel like there should be something else going on right here and maybe over here. Although definitely not that propane tank and the fence and all that other stuff, and this, whatever that was. So, anyway, that's the final painting, and learn from my mistakes.